Greetings, scholars. Let's talk a little bit about how these assigned readings you're looking at today will shape your future essays in this class. So I want to preface this by saying that I've chosen the topic of education because it is something we can all relate to. We've all had some education. We're all in the academic environment right now. Some of us have kids who are in the academic environment. Some of us want to be teachers. So this is sort of one of those things that even if you don't want to be a teacher, even if you don't plan to stay in the academic community indefinitely, this is a topic that affects us all. And so we're starting with sort of the large umbrella of education, but there are so many topics that we can address underneath that umbrella. And so these readings are meant to represent some of the voices that have already spoken, some of the people who've talked about their own experiences, who've done research, things like this. So you're going to start by, I recommend that you skim or scan each of these texts first, just to see what grabs your interest. And then you're going to select at least 4 of them. And you're going to read through them carefully. You're going to take notes. You may annotate, start writing down questions. And all of this is to prepare you to enter the academic conversation on the topic. I've chosen a group of writings from across different time periods, going back to the 1800s all the way up to just a few months ago, on different topics. Now, I have these listed out under categories, but make no mistake, each of these sort of crosses over between categories. So, for example, Frederick Douglass primarily talks about how he taught himself how to read and write and why that was so important. So I put it under the banner of the learning process and reading and writing. But we could also talk about education and race, or the lack of education, withholding education. Those are things that are also relevant. So as you're reading through these, as you're skimming through these, don't forget to look for some of those more nuanced topics. Once you have selected a couple of them and you've written and you've taken notes, you're going to select one to write about for each of your timed essays. We will start working on timed essays next week, so you want to make sure that you have at least 3 selected that you really want to talk about. Then you will take those 3 timed essays and you will generate more questions, things you really need to know to enter the conversation fully. And so for your final persuasive research paper, you're going to choose at least 2 of those texts as your anchor texts. Anchor texts are simply things that we sort of use as a jumping off point or a focal point to talk about a serious topic. And so you'll choose one of these topics that 2 of your texts share. You'll conduct additional research to broaden your understanding. You'll develop your own argument or solution to the problem. This process is meant to mirror real academic discourse. First, we listen to the existing voices. We find ways to relate to them. Then we ask questions, we investigate further, and then we contribute our own ideas to the conversation. Remember, your goal here is to engage meaningfully with the ongoing topic of education. Good luck.